You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
As we last left off, the entire band, now P3, take that however you will, arrived in the Bellagio and walked out of the bathroom into the main lobby where Link was looking over at going to gamble. So we will resume there where you had given him 100 gold pieces.
Yep.
To go see if he could make money and split it with you. Yeah, as you're standing there in this lobby, he points over to the very large multi-desk front desk operation. He's like, so there's a hall in the middle of those. You go all the way down it, you turn left, you go all the way down, you turn right, you go all the way down, and then that is the elevator. He has an elevator that goes and opens in his penthouse.
Okay.
Do we need like a key or a code?
You'll have to get the security guy to send you up.
This is a little off topic, but I already hate the name of our band. It's like, I know it like we just came up with it literally just now.
Yeah.
But it feels as
We're
if
different people than we
weeks
were
have
then.
passed, it feels like, and I really don't like it anymore. Like,
Okay.
I hate it. So
Are you thinking something else?
I'll work on it.
Okay, cool. I can always sketch something. It's totally cool.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, let's work backwards. If you can go ahead and sketch something, and then we'll look at it, and we'll come up with a name from that.
Subspace Quartet.
I like that. Or that might be good in 10 weeks.
I'm good with
Could
this.
be.
Write it down.
Something casino themed, possibly.
We'll get it.
The Blackest of Jacks.
We'll get it.
Casino World, level 1.
Casino Zone. Casino Night
That's it.
Zone.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's head to the elevator.
I do like Casino Night Zone. It's pretty good.
That is a good name.
I really do like that. I think, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's do the thing that we came to do.
All right, yeah, Link goes off the other way, and you guys follow his direction. And then, sure enough, once you follow it at the end of that hall, you see one single elevator by itself in a small little atrium. And then there is looks like a security guard. He's in a black suit with a white undershirt, black tie, black sunglasses, and an earpiece.
You think this is it?
I don't know. We should ask that very official-looking security guard.
Hi, I'm Lim. I'm in a band that is, I guess, going to be owned by, I assume, your boss. We're here to talk to him, but not about that. So, yeah, don't forget I said that because it gives us, the credentials, I feel like, to go speak to him, but it's not about band stuff. It's about more important stuff than that.
Okay. Do you have like an appointment?
No, but Link said it would be fine.
Yeah. I feel like he told us to say something and then we forgot about it because maybe weeks have passed. But I know that they really haven't.
Was there a password?
Is there a password? I'm just looking at the security guard.
I don't know. Is there a password?
I don't know. We don't have an appointment though.
Tropical Capricorn?
Get out. That's the opposite. That's the denial word.
Oh, yeah.
Denial word.
Brandon's been here.
I mean, would you be willing to call up and see if he'll see us?
Sure. I can do
Thanks.
that. Because you see he basically touches his lapel. So who is Lim?
Yeah, Casino Night
rest of
Zone.
you?
He knows this is Casino Night Zone. He doesn't. But the band from Paducah? Write that one down.
He might know us as Millennium Falco. I think that's who we were when we first met him.
There we go.
That
Millennium
is.
Falco.
Sir, there's a millennial.
Millennium.
Yeah, there was some argument over that at one point, but yeah, I think we landed on a name.
Millennium Falco here to see you. Band business?
No.
No. Why?
Hold on a second. I'm trying not to make it obvious to the spirit
yeah.
what I'm saying, but
Do I know? Like,
should we mention that it pertains to your mom? That would be
Why? Yes, sir. Your mom. No. Tell him your mom.
No. Tell him D's nuts.
Tell him I have a bad case of ligma.
Okay, so just for the listener, not me, I totally know, but just for the listener, we're here to talk to him about subspace stuff, right?
Yes.
right. But the only
We've got
reason
the
we're
picture of him from
Right.
school.
Right.
and it wasn't it in your mom? It was in your mom's handwriting.
Yes.
Project
Okay.
Mindful.
So well, I guess we.
About Project Mindful.
Oh shit.
And then he grimaces for a second. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, he needs to know it's important, right? And that'll
He'll either let us up or he'll kick us out. One.
well, if he kicks us out, we're right where we are now, right? So
I suppose. Maybe I could.
You see, it looks like he turns his back to you for a second, and then when he turns back, then the elevator door opens.
Oh, thanks.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm already on.
Elevator time.
Slip a copper piece into his lapel. That's for you.
Thank you.
There are no like death traps or anything on this other.
I don't know. So yeah, the elevator door shuts, and no music or anything. You ascend in silence.
Well, we're a band. I mean, come on. we can
Start
sing.
beatboxing.
Yeah.
I got sunshine.
Make a perform check.
All right, I think I will. I think I'll take my D20 out of this very nice Urban Cobb Apartments mug that Ian got for me.
No. A 10 to beatbox.
Well, that's an 11 for me. The beatbox.
Perfectly average little singing and beatboxing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not trying over here. We're just kind of having a good time. Having some goofs in the elevator at the Bellagio.
I'm just pull one of my cymbals out of my chest and start beating on it.
Ting, 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 ting.
Yeah, you've ascend because you do see there are windows to your right, so you do see you can see all of Las Vegas as you ascend completely to the top, and then the door opens to a lavish open floor plan apartment. It is primarily black furniture, white floors and walls, a very minimalistic design, some silver sort of intermittently spaced and very sparse art. And you see that on the far wall there is a very hearty but very organized bar. And you immediately recognize Dane. Looks like he's wearing a very crisp white shirt, black slacks with a belt, nice shoes. The sleeves are rolled up, and you see he's making a drink.
Hi.
So he turns and he's got a cup in his hand full of some kind of brown liquid. Project Mindful.
Project Mindful. Yeah.
I don't know why it occurred to me. This is an aside, but we were really trying to avoid him knowing about this, and he was really interested at one point about knowing about you two. This is probably a lot more dangerous than we're giving it credit
Oh, yeah.
for.
No, I mean,
This is absolutely reckless.
it's extremely dangerous.
We just jumped to level 30. We're not.
This is just Slim's demeanor.
Make a perception check when all of you.
9.
Big old 9.
7.
23.
Nice.
All right, so all of you are looking at Dane over you're sort of always kind of aware of danger, so you do notice it's kind of mixed into the bottles, but there is a handgun. Looks like at arm's length from Dane, nestled between the bottles.
He doesn't have his hand on it, but it's like right there.
It's right there, yeah. He doesn't have his hand on it.
Okay.
But you know it's
But he
for a
does
hand.
have, you see he has his drink in his left hand, and then his free hand sort of in his pocket closest to the gun.
So,
Can I?
I'm gonna slowly approach the bar and just lay.
Well, like as you sort of step forward, like he points to the couch. Please
Oh.
have a seat.
sure.
Okay.
I'll sit down. In the middle.
Is he staying where he is?
Yeah. Could I?
How far away is the couch from where he is?
About 15 feet.
I like your black furniture
Thank you.
with the silver accents and sparse art.
That's a very apt description of my apartment.
Thank you. I really took it in, when I got off the elevator.
It's almost like it was being described to me in some way.
All of you are very young to have questions about Project Mindful.
Are people who ask about it typically older?
It was more popular in conspiracy theory circles many years ago.
But it's not a conspiracy theory.
Maybe.
We know it's not a conspiracy theory.
Don't get too challenging. I'm just going to say.
I'm not trying to be challenging. It's just, let's lay everything on. Let's lay all our cards on the table, right?
Well,
We're here in Vegas.
Why the hell would we be here if we didn't have a pretty damn good idea?
I'll show him the picture we found of him.
Because he's very flat-faced, when you mention laying all your cards on the table, like he looks like he's just kind of taking it all in, but you can see everybody can make an insight.
13.
15.
16.
Another 23.
Okay, all of you can tell, like, he certainly does not have a relaxed posture, like he's on high alert. So you could tell he's a master of his own body language. With a 23, you can pick up that whatever he is set up right here, that he is, from his posture and the way everything seems meticulously set up, this is a encounter he has rehearsed many, many times. So if something were to go wrong, he knows exactly the quickest way to do absolutely anything.
Look, man, we're not here to cause any trouble. We just, found you,
Yeah, because you pull out that picture, and that's when that composure changes.
And I'll look, man, I got this from my dad, and the handwriting on the back is my mother's handwriting.
May I?
I'll hand him the scrap of the photo.
Please don't eat it.
Because he takes it. God damn. This is absolutely not what I assumed you would be coming up here for.
And what's more, while we're laying cards on the table, we've been there.
I know the name of this place.
Well, we've been to Jzadirune, but that might not be where that was taken.
No, it's Jzadirune.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've been there.
He said before that it was a picture of them sitting in front of the walls of Jzadirune.
It's weird. It's like it's been weeks. I know it's only been a couple hours, but
it's just all that drinking we did. It's just
it's finally catching up to me. All that Barks root beer.
All that tequila we drank with Scott.
Looks like he has it in his hand, but he holds up his hands.
I'll do it too.
I'm not making any.
I'll do all my hands up too.
Making no sudden moves. Looks like he reaches over. There's that gun behind him. It looks like he just pulls the clip out and drops it. Okay, so we're all being friendly now.
Well, we were being friendly from the beginning, but okay.
Yeah, apparently I came off as challenging. I didn't mean to come off as challenging.
I know we just showed up out of nowhere.
Anybody that shows up at my door saying Project Mindful might be trying to kill me. Now I don't think you're trying to kill me.
Most
because of the
definitely
photo?
not.
Yes.
We don't want to kill you. You're our record contract.
It's not crazy to me to say that you could have been a plant from the beginning to try and get close to me.
Oh.
Well, that's
No,
weird.
This is happenstance. I can assure you, we had no clue of any of this until recently.
What's everybody's drink?
Bourbon.
Bourbon, bourbon, bourbon.
Nothing for me, thank you.
What do you have in the works of Dr. Pepper? Anything like that?
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
Man, I was worried you're gonna say is Pepsi okay?
Mr. Pibb.
Burn this fucking casino to the ground.
Tonic and lime.
Sure, why not?
Looks like he just sets to work making drinks and then puts them on a plate and comes over, sets in front of all of you kind of on the couches and has drinks, and he's got himself a drink.
This is nice, thank you.
Okay, so you...
Was there anything about his does he look very completely relaxed? Like I want to insight. He has no ill will towards us.
Yeah, make another insight.
I'm drinking my drink right now.
18.
Okay.
10. Yeah,
I've already started.
I've
Three
started
again.
mine as well.
It's perfectly chilled.
Oh, this is great. It's
Bottle.
Oh, wow.
Oh, a bottle of Dr.
Mine's
Pepper.
done.
What were the insights?
18.
Okay.
10.
23.
Shit. So he is definitely, he's more relaxed. He doesn't seem like he's on a dangerous edge, but you could tell he's definitely shaken. He's not like shaking, but you could tell you definitely hit him in a way he hasn't been hit in a long time.
A long time.
So yeah, he pulls like a handkerchief out of inside of his shirt and sort of wipes his bald head. So, you say your mother.
Yeah.
Do you know his mom?
I would believe so, because she's the only other person that would have this.
The photo.
It looks on the back. I can't say I recognize her handwriting, but
That's all we found. Obviously, there's more to that photograph.
so like he looks like he stands up and he goes over to a mirror that's on the wall, and because he sets his drink down and then sets the picture down. Looks like he stands up and goes over, he grabs that mirror, and looks like when he opens it, you see there's a safe behind it, and he sets his hand on it, and then he leans down and puts his eye in front of it, and then he presses several numbers, and then he opens it up, and you see several boxes on the inside of it, and he pulls an envelope out of the bottom.
Do we see any money inside?
You just see boxes.
Okay.
You don't see like any just cash setting out.
Could be anything in the box.
Anything, exactly.
Could be a boat.
So then he shuts the safe. He shuts the mirror. And when he comes over with that manila envelope, and he pulls out what looks like the other part of that picture.
Oh,
And then lines them up.
well, do you mind if I ask how you got that? I mean, is that yours? Is that the 3/4? Is that yours since like you were a little
Since
boy?
I was this age, yes.
So who had the other piece?
The girl who tried to take it from me as we were running. And that was Amelia.
As you were running from what?
The people trying to shut it down. The other people in subspace, whatever is inside of Jzadirune. From what I understand, the government had called it quits. Enough people had died. Jzadirune was getting stranger.
Were they turning into goblins by any chance, or?
From what I can understand, the perception is different for every person. We didn't know this. The more people we brought into the project, the more Jzadirune started to change. The more twisted and warped it got as everyone's impressions laid over it one after the other. That's what made it even more dangerous. So the bigger the project got, exponentially, the more dangerous it got.
So how old were you when you were running away from it? When you and Mom were running, you said she was trying to take the picture from you.
Well, the picture could have either been your mother, or her sister. They were always together.
Okay.
Amelia and Aurora.
Yeah.
So
Okay. But what approximately what age were you at that point?
10.
Well,
I was 10. I'd say Amelia was about the same age. Aurora was 13, 14. She's a little older than us.
I mean, that rings a bell for me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So Amelia and Aurora, they were always together, and you're not sure who it was? As in, like, they were saying that they were twins or something, or?
They were sisters. So I didn't know. Amelia grabbed the picture and it ripped, and she and Aurora ran off. So I assumed your mother would be either one of those.
So
It
you're-
makes sense.
So your mom's Amelia?
Mm-hmm.
My mom's Aurora.
So we're
Cousins.
So we're cousins.
Yeah, it looks like he slides that picture over and then points to two girls in the opposite corner who bear striking resemblances to each of your mothers.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
I
Cousin.
always knew it.
Yeah, I
Deep
mean,
down.
I think that was kind of a thing.
Dane holds up his hand. So you didn't know your mothers were the sisters?
No.
No.
We met just out of pure happenstance whenever I started the band and he came and auditioned. We picked him up as our guitarist, and we've just been, and then we both discovered that, over time that we had a lot of things in common, and this kind of led us to, we originally thought we might be brothers, because my dad,
He takes a long drink off of that drink.
my dad
Thirsty.
was being really evasive about a potential relationship with Aurora, and so we kind of got to thinking down those lines. But now you're saying that Amelia is my mom and they're sisters, so I was never aware, to my knowledge. I need to take an aside here to the real world. Was I aware that I had an aunt?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I
Well,
was
see, that's
never.
why, and I'm asking too, because
Yeah.
it's like when that was mentioned, it was like, you didn't react to that, and so it was just kind of
Neither
like,
of you reacted.
So it was one of those. I was like, am I?
Well, I was processing it all
Okay,
because
okay.
it was kind of took the air out of a big revelation here. But okay, getting back into it. See, I was never aware that I had an aunt. I only ever thought it was just my mom and dad. My other family, my dad's family, was mostly dead by the time I came around.
So you see,
It got better.
He was only mostly dead.
he narrows his eyes at both of you.
I opened mine real wide.
So then you're subspace users.
Yes.
Both of you.
Yes, we both
Yeah.
are.
I've been told not to tell people that, but yeah.
It's advisable.
Well, I mean, once you knew we had been to Jzadirune, it was.
If
somewhat
someone
right.
asks outright, "Are you a subspace user?" I mean, I feel like I'm more inclined to say yes to that. But yeah, we are.
In the future, when
So
a
is
music
it-
producer asks if you're a subspace user, you say yes.
So is it hereditary then?
From all the studies, yes, there is a genetic component to subspace. Knowing what I know, you two were in my subspace. That was the two of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were. That was us.
That was us.
Yeah,
with
that-
no malice of intent. We just, until the two of us ran into each other in subspace. Most of every encounter I'd ever had, I'd never run into anyone else.
We found I've never seen a 2-star door. I've always had 1 star on them. I've never seen a 2-star door.
So we walked through it.
So
and
we
that
went
was
through
in
it,
your
and then
office.
it was your office, and then I gotta be honest. I mean, it was creepy.
It was different than what we would have expected, but again, neither of us had a lot of experience in subspace at that point.
You see, I have a rare talent among subspace users. So, to my knowledge, I don't know every subspace user, but from my knowledge of my own abilities and the subspace talents that I know about, the only person who could access my subspace is Aurora St. Clair. She has the perfect combination of talents and has made physical contact with me. So she's the only person. I've been very careful to make sure I don't make physical contact with many people in case they're a subspace user. But as a child, I can't help that. She's the only person I know that could access my subspace.
I'm making assumptions here. I'm assuming you know that she's dead, right? That my mom is dead. Amelia.
My knowledge is that both of the sisters are dead.
Yeah.
My knowledge is that I am the only living person in that picture. Because of my talent is the only reason I'm alive.
Would there be anyone else in that picture that we would know or need to know who they are, just for future reference?
Because you see where the X's are only on your mom's part of the picture. Because he looks at it. I assumed whenever she found out they had passed on, she was marking them out. Trying to keep track of everybody. I've done the same. I didn't mark up my picture, but I've also tried to keep track the best I could. And from what I know, everyone's gone, including the director, including
Max,
the other professors.
Director Max.
Yes,
So it's just you?
it's just me.
No wonder you're on edge.
I am.
Can I have
There are multiple reasons.
a weird request? Because yeah.
Quiznos.
Yeah. Can we get a quiz? Do you have a Quiznos up here in your house?
It's in the bathroom. Go ahead.
Because I am.
You don't have a bathroom
I am
Quiznos?
craving a sandwich, bro. Can we go into subspace?
Sure.
Okay. You seem hesitant.
You already have access to my subspace. So the
And I'm
safety.
assuming that's because we are direct descendants of the only other two that could do it, right?
Even descendants makes me leery.
What do you mean, Larry?
What do you mean?
We've never made physical contact.
Right.
I made sure of that. That's why I didn't shake your hands or anything like that when we met. I don't do that. I'd say I'm a germaphobe, but
Yeah, I thought you were like
it's-
Mark Summers or something. I didn't say
No,
anything.
it's just,
but,
I
you
mean,
know.
I do like Mark Summers.
Yeah.
But it's because I don't know who's a subspace user. I'm what subspacers would call a vault. People, unless it is a person with a tunneler talent, no one can get into my subspace without making physical contact with me. Even a tunneler has to make physical contact. Aurora is the only tunneler I know that has ever done that. So as a vault, I am immune to almost all influences of subspace manipulation. I'm immune to the glow.
Wow. I've heard a lot about that. A lot of bad things about that.
Well, that's why I anticipated your mothers would be killed early if Project Mindful was being wiped out. They had the perfect, they were very close sisters, and they had the perfect combination of talents to strike fear into anyone who knows about subspace.
Because of tunneling and then something else?
Aurora had two talents. Aurora was what we call a tunneler, that she can find other people in subspace. I'm an exception. She can find anyone in subspace as long as she knows their name. She can tunnel to their subspace. That is a unique gift to tunnelers. And she is what we call a saboteur. She can disguise people in subspace. She can manipulate wards and defenses. She's more skilled at manipulation of other people's subspaces. So that combined with Amelia's talent. Amelia had one talent, which is the most dangerous of talents. Amelia was a glowworm. Amelia could produce and manipulate and leave behind the glow.
Could she take it away?
Not to my knowledge.
Can
Do
you
you know of any way that the glow can be treated?
No.
and can you
That's what makes it dangerous.
can you explain it? Because like my knowledge, all the knowledge I have on it is really from
First-hand
forums
experience
on the
and
internet.
forums,
and
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you see he takes his drink and sets it on the ground. A moment will go into my subspace.
there's okay, great.
And you see he walks back into his back bedroom. Well, no, he had a pretty big drink, so he takes another sizable drag and then sets it down, and you see he goes back behind and you hear him speaking another language.
Is it Simpsons references by any chance?
No.
All right, bummer.
Is it German by any chance?
It is not German.
Okay.
He's speaking something, and then when he comes back, so you tell my mother that I would be out of pocket for a moment. And you see he just flicks his hand, and when he does, just out of nowhere, a 2-star door appears. He opens it up, and you just see the black of subspace. Please.
Thank you. I'll go through.
I'll go next.
Yeah, I guess we're going to.
Sure.
And when you go in, and then he walks in and shuts the door behind you, and when he does it, for the first time you see it, it vanishes behind him as soon as he shuts it. And what you see is a large crystal palace in front of you. And as he walks, he motions his arm, and the door looks like it cracks open.
The 2-star door, or
No,
just
when
like a door
once
to
you're in
enter?
subspace, then you see a small white bridge to this large palace.
Okay. And and the door to the palace.
The door of the palace cracks open.
Okay.
This is another vault talent. This is my mind palace.
I like the name a lot.
So he shows you inside of that, and inside of that, it mirrors sort of his apartment, only it's a little more crystalline.
Reminds me of Final Fantasy. I don't know if you ever played any of those games.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they got like stuff like this.
So the X's on the faces of the picture that was in your mom's, her part of the picture, like you're assuming that, I mean, how old are you?
I'm 52.
So for that many people, they didn't all die of natural causes, we're to assume.
I don't know that for an absolute fact, but I'm all as certain as you could be without me seeing the bullets lodge in their skulls.
Well, do you have any theories of who it may be?
The government, or
I think the government. I think there's something in subspace. I think there's something around Jzadirune.
Ultros.
yeah, it might be Ultros.
I'm not familiar with that.
He's a purple octopus that just does really bad things.
I've never had encounters with a purple octopus that does bad things.
I don't know. That's all we got for now.
Yeah, our leads are exhausted.
So as a vault, I have the ability to take perfect memories of things that I see and store them in my vault, in my mind palace. So all the records, everything from Project Mindful, almost all of it is inside my mind palace. As far as I know, physical copies of all the research should have been destroyed. And I would imagine they've been killing anyone who also knows about it.
Oh, that's
to try
us.
And keep people out of. You have to be very careful. As far as I know, as long as subspace users don't congregate in large numbers, we're relatively safe.
Greater than 3.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm glad we decided to hide our identities when we started releasing all that information.
Yeah. Yeah, we've, do you get on the internet a lot?
Here and there.
Like ever, like, you know, about, yeah, I'm sure you know it, the subspace, like, forums and stuff like that, and IRC
little.
and all that. Did you, like, see a post about Jzadirune on there?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, we did that. So.
We put a map of Jzadirune out for anyone that happens to encounter it to give them a fighting chance to get out.
Yeah, just 'cause it was
we
so
almost died in
dangerous.
there.
But we also warned people not to go anywhere near it, so.
As they shouldn't. So a map is necessary. Because when I was there, it was about 7, 8 rooms.
Oh, no. It's
way
grown. It's a
bigger.
big boy now.
See, that's concerning. So more people are going, and Jzadirune is growing.
And there's multiple floors.
It has. We never found out what Jzadirune is, why it's there, why it's a reflection. It didn't take many corrupted people to take what seemed like a good place for us to gather and make it something dark.
It's gotten a lot worse, but comparatively speaking to what you're saying. It's a labyrinth, and it's full of creatures in danger, and I mean, at least for our experience it was, and for the one other person we spoke with that was there prior to our arrival, their experience was totally different, but equally as dangerous.
The different canvas thing, you know?
Yeah.
A giant baby killed Liz.
Killed you?
I mean, basically. She was fine.
She was on death's door.
Well, dying in subspace is certainly
Do you die in real life?
eventually. It's more akin to going into a coma or having a stroke. That shortly thereafter, then your body will give out. There are people who have been in comas for decades for dying in subspace, but the two are strongly connected.
Well, at least there's that.
But the glow,
Yeah.
it seemed that the glow would manifest. We found it manifesting out of Jzadirune. people would just end up with it.
Yeah. Go on.
But there are people who could also look like they could manifest the same thing.
Like it comes out of their
being
head?
One of them. From what I know, it looks like he goes over and he's running his hands over the walls of his mind palace. From the experiments that were done, the glow is something more akin to fragmenting your mind and leaving a very simple piece of your mind in someone else's subspace. And that piece of your mind takes root and becomes part of them.
Oh no.
Whatever that
sounds
simple
horrible.
command is.
So
it's like Inception, in a way, where you plant an
The
idea.
movie from the future? Yes.
Well, I mean, the concept of Inception, where you could plant an idea in someone's subconscious and then it could grow to be their own idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Only the glow, you can manipulate people like that through subspace without the glow.
But
That's why I own a penthouse in the Bellagio. I did enough tampering on my own to become a multimillionaire and set up my mother, and then I got out of Dodge. But the glow is something far more dangerous and far more powerful.
And you're saying that Amelia could do this, was able to do this at will? I mean, is it something that occurs because someone took an action against someone else?
She would have to go into someone else's subspace. The stronger the glow will be, the deeper you get into their subspace. But there she could essentially rip out a fragment of her own mind, stab it into someone else's subconscious. From what our experimentation, you could leave 3 fragments. 3 cohesive fragments. So if we left behind a fragment that said, you think red is actually blue,
well, of course.
stab it in. They could resist that. Eventually, they're not. Eventually, they will firmly believe that everyone else is wrong. Red is actually blue.
So how is it that this can be could this be imposed on how is it that this could be imposed on a non-subspace user?
The same way, everyone, subspace users just can access the large network that is subspace. Everyone has subspace. Only a select few can navigate it. Normally, you only have access. You don't even have access to your own subspace for the most part, but everyone has it.
Would an ability like what my mom had be also hereditary? Would it be passed to me, for example?
And I would say any talent could be passed to the two of you, but yes.
I was just curious if perhaps that ability could be attempted to be used to reverse a bad enough glow.
Well, that's what I was...
Does a glow? I'm sorry. Before I forget, I just want to ask: if someone were to implant a fragment of their own mind into someone else's mind, but that person that did the implantation, that did the thing to the other person, was killed, or can it be taken back?
Everything that we have known, the glow remains. And another person trying to implant a glow of their own, if it's contradictory to the glow that's already there, the new glow fails.
Do you know of any other subspace users in and around the area we live?
That's a talent to know something like that, but it's not my talent. I don't know of any other subspace users around your area. Do the two of you have siblings?
I do not. He has about 40.
So how many siblings do you have?
A lot from a different mother.
Okay.
So you're Aurora's only child, and then your other kids came from your stepmom?
I don't know that I'm her only
Stepmoms.
child, but I know that.
Well, I mean, we do
my
know
other-
Junior was a subspace user.
I mean, do we?
No, I think that was just a manifestation of his subconscious.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it, but I don't know. But there is somebody that I want you to meet, because she might know you, you might know her. She knew a lot about Jzadirune. Her name is Navi. Navi, are you there?
Well, we're in my subspace.
We need to go to mine.
Or mine.
I want you to meet her.
All right.
because I have a weird hunch, and I want you to meet her.
I can try to open a door to mine. She should be in there.
Well, we can finish.
Well, there should, if we're connected, there should be a door to your subspace here.
Okay.
You can make one of you can make a subspace power check to try and, say the DC's 15 to conjure your own door here, since you're connected.
No, 13.
Yeah, you see you walk outside the palace and he just starts like sweeping and moving around subspace until he spins it around enough that there's a 2-star door. Well, it belongs to the two of you.
What do the stars on the doors mean?
1 star is where the subspace will connect 2 different places in the physical world. 2 is another subspace.
Subspace is
A
subspace.
door that goes to another
Someone's
subspace.
actual
Okay, that
subconscious subspace.
explains why his door was a 2-star.
2-star.
I get it now. Okay.
We thought it was something silly like power rating or something, you know?
Honestly, the amount that we know, if there could be more details than that.
If you don't know.
I mean,
Because you probably know the
Well,
most
we-
about this stuff.
I may know the most, but my knowledge is far from complete. I know there are such thing as half-star doors, but that's a talent known only to seekers. It's not a talent of mine.
Seekers? Those are different than tunnelers?
Yes, so there are tunnelers, saboteurs, vaults, glowworms, and seekers.
And what does a seeker do?
A seeker, they are skilled at finding other subspace users. If they've made physical contact, they can track other subspace users.
Are these different types of abilities in subspace teachable, learnable, or are they always just what you happen to be?
It's more what you happen to be. But seekers are also they're talented at creating 1-star doors to travel place to place. That's sort of their traveling is a strong talent of theirs. Where tunnelers connect places between people, seekers can do it in the real world.
Thank you.
So he'll follow you through your subspace.
Yeah, I'll go through there.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, he walks through and I have not done this in an exceptionally long time.
Really?
Oh, not since I was a child.
Really?
Really?
Well, that's kind of exciting.
Well,
He's
because
he's trying to keep on the DL. He
I don't-
stays
I
in his
don't-
own subspace.
yeah, I don't. Tunnelers are unique in that they can enter someone else's subspace without forming a bond. Vaults, I'm skilled at defending my own, but if I make a connection remains.
Oh, well, then you probably shouldn't come through. In all honesty, I'm
Like,
trouble. Like, for real.
The connection was already made.
Like, she got damn near killed, and yeah, probably you shouldn't come through. Can we just keep the door open?
Well, the connection already remained. When you entered my subspace, we were connected.
Oh. Oops.
Not your fault, I believe.
I mean, to my knowledge, it's not. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Navi.
And you see, it's like Navi spins into existence.
Listen!
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
good.
This is a new friend. I'm just gonna make eyes like we're friends, right?
We're in it together at this point.
Hey, me and this guy, we're in it together. We met in Jzadirune.
Because he looks at Navi. Who are you? And you see Navi takes shape of a adult woman that you haven't seen before. And as soon as she does, that's when Lim, that's your mother.
I knew it. I knew it.
And then that's when Dane sort of rocks back on his heels whenever she manifests as a spectral blue version of herself. And as soon as she does, you say that, and then she turns and hugs you.
Yeah, I'll hug her back. Why didn't you tell me? Why'd I have to find out this way?
She looks over at Liz. I didn't know who was listening.
Liz was listening? Who cares? Liz is in the band.
She holds up her hands. A device of some sort was on her person, and I don't know who owned that device. I think they intended you harm, so I couldn't let them know I was here. It was my hope, and she turns to Dane and smiles. I connected you to the only person alive that I knew might be able to protect you, because Dane's the last one of us that knows anything.
You connected us to Dane?
I did.
So...
And Dane just like nods his head. This makes sense. Aurora, you're dead.
She's not dead, look.
She stops and shrugs her shoulders, and she walks over and she grabs you and hugs you as well, Kenny.
Where do you know what is my mom in here with you too?
I don't think she is. I can't say she's not. I have tunneled everywhere for 40 years to try and find her. Well, not 40 years. I've tunneled for, how old are you? 24?
20.
Damn, Kenny, you're old.
I'm old. Well, I mean, it was, I'm 27.
Yes, you were probably like less than 2 when she died.
Yeah.
It's like, so for 25 years, I've tunneled trying to find her.
How come she never told me about you? Earl's doing good, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
That makes me very happy. I like her a lot. Honestly, it's probably because of Balthazar.
Yeah, about him, I just have one question. Why?
One, I think he had Amy killed.
What?
You see,
But that's the answer. But
What?
that's really the question.
Dane just sort of nods his head. She was a glowworm. She was a danger.
To him? Do you know him too?
Balthazar?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now Dave is like, was he in the photo? I can't remember.
Balthazar was not in the
Okay,
photo.
okay.
No, I don't think he was.
This is the first time, this is the first time. What? How do you know him?
How do I know? But how does your mother know your dad?
Well, I have a lot of questions, but how do you know him, Dane? I mean, it just seems like, I guess you know him through my mom?
Well, he approached me in St. Louis when I was putting together the show about
Like recent times?
a few years ago. And then he sold me the house in Heather Hills, promising that this area was ripe for industrialization, old money, that it would have good connections to St. Louis for the shows I was putting together.
Does Balthazar know about subspace and all this Jzadirune shit?
So that's when Aurora, unfortunately, yes,
But does he have access to it?
through he personally, no, but through the children, he does.
The children?
Yes. I shared a lot of things with him about my past and growing up and the things I knew. He took that information and ran. So he has, I don't know how he has awakened talents inside your siblings.
Jeez. They're the worst. Mom, they're the worst.
I think he's made them the worst.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah.
If he has access to the glow, I think he's made them the worst. I think he is making them all his subspace army. And I think he's using subspace to manipulate and build to something.
Do you think he has a glowworm working for him?
I do.
Man.
I think one of the kids is a glowworm.
I think it's your.
Probably Ignatius.
Is that the one
That Scott got
Yeah,
dating tips,
yeah.
seduction tips from. There's a
That's-
girl I like, Mom. Her name is Jill. You
I
know. Thought bubble of the fountain and all that. And yeah.
Since I'm here, I don't think I'm dead, but I can't leave here. I can only be in subspace. So he's done something to me out there.
Like cryogenically frozen?
Maybe.
Demolition Man.
So the only person that I know outside that couldn't be spying or have some hooks somewhere into you, he looks over as you, Dane. So I tunneled and I connected the two of you, and then after I did that, I disguised the two of you so he wouldn't see you when you went in. And then that's where I wanted you to meet. And then I wanted to physically talk and try to do this. But then when I know someone was up to something, I had to change everything up. Because I don't think your dad knows I'm here. And he can't know I'm here.
Well, I definitely won't tell him.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Oh, well, then it might not be your decision to tell him.
That sounds ominous. Can you prepare me for that?
I think what she means is he might find out anyway.
How,
He could find out. He could. That's where she looks over at Dane. That's where I need your help.
Vault me up.
Maybe I can vault you up. I can help bring out your talents. I'm the only one who has access to all the research. And you see that's when Aurora just kind of... I don't think you're the only one. I think... Again, I told Balthazar what I knew. I think he went out looking, and I think he found even more. And I think he's probably been doing his own experimentations. So he has... I don't know if all the kids have subspace, but I think he's picked it up in most of them. What's stranger still, I can't find your brother at all.
Which brother?
Like Junior.
Junior?
I can't find Junior subspace anywhere. Your siblings are all guarded up. I've tried to tunnel into their subspaces. I can't even find Junior.
So what does a person's subspace appear to be if they don't actually have control of their subspace?
It almost might be like a dream space of your subconscious. So if I were to tunnel into yours, it would be a smattering of everything about you that you know and you don't know. And Dane knows you don't have to have a particular talent. Anyone can go in there. You have your own defenses. It's not easy. It's incredibly dangerous, but anybody can be messed with.
But other subspace users would know if you tunneled into their subspace.
Depending.
But a person, I guess, here's where I'm
You
going
could be.
with this.
We could be. Dane. I think Dane can work with all of you. No one knows more about defense than Dane.
Yeah, that's not really why I'm asking though, because even though the kids all have subspace, Balthazar doesn't.
No.
And
Balthazar, I don't even know what he's done. I can find him out there. I'm connected to him. But the fortifications on Balthazar are like nothing I've ever seen. So I don't know if he's somehow... The best I could describe it is he has every single one of the kids in front of him as a shield to his subspace.
okay.
Believe me, if I could just go in there, find out what I can find out, mess with him, change everything, I would have a long time ago. And I didn't even know until recently that you guys have gotten old enough that you can come into your subspace. I would only get fleeting glances of you whenever you might dream and enter it temporarily. And even then, I was afraid to say anything or do anything because at that stage when you're still developing, things can get messed up very easily. So
Best to just let it happen.
So I'm
naturally.
sorry I couldn't. I wanted, whenever you came into your own abilities to where you could manifest it yourselves, great. I can talk to them. We can figure this out. And then I guess I can only imagine Balthazar knew at the same time. So then he got on the offensive. So I had to change up my plan. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you guys. I'm sorry, Lem.
No,
We get it.
I understand.
But
So-
I can't even find my exit. I don't know what he's done to my body, I guess.
Do you know how you died? It's a weird question.
So I don't think I'm dead. I may just. My best guess is I am unconscious in some kind of coma in a rural hospital in the middle of nowhere. That's the best thing I can figure.
Like God in Dogma.
Yeah, just like God and Dogma.
Ugh.
Do you think, you mentioned earlier that you thought Balthazar may have been targeting my mom.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because he found out that she was a glowworm and that she was going to be a potential threat to him, and his big plans.
Yes.
Do you think he would have killed her, or do you think he would have tried to take her and use her for his own nefarious purposes?
I don't think he could have used Amy, so I think he would have had to have killed her.
And I mean, Dane, I don't know if you have Balthazar on your list of potential people who are knocking off Project Mindful people, but if he's not on that list, I'd put him on that list.
He's certainly on something now. I'm going to carry on with him as if I know nothing, but he knows about me, so he came looking for me for a reason, which I don't quite understand because he can't mess with me. I assume he's wanting to try and extract what information I have.
It's not good. It really isn't. It's not good because he's being Balthazar's being oddly nurturing with this whole band venture. And so if he came to you, he's made that connection. He knows we're connected. So, I mean,
well, if he's had...
This is his plan.
And I assume you may be the only natural subspace user of everybody. So it's probably bent at you. Does he know about you?
No. I mean, he knows we've met, but he doesn't know who I am.
Did he touch you? I can't remember.
See, Aurora just... That's why we kept everything so separate.
I didn't tell him that he had an encounter with Dad, but Dad just played it off like he was the crazy old man he is, and he left. But there was never a mention that I was Earl's son.
Good, because I think basically my personal belief is I don't think he was the one driving it, but I think he is the one that had set up a drunk driving situation that on that curb was responsible for that car that hit Amy. I think he took her away, and then he still knew that Earl knew everything, so he buried Earl. I mean, your dad was... He was the union leader of all the electricians. He was the union steward of every big job in town. Like, he was wealthy enough that, Balthazar couldn't mess with them.
You're telling me that Balthazar is the reason that I've lived poor and in basically squalor my whole life?
Yeah.
Great. This guy keeps getting better and better.
I think that he made sure he took everything away from Earl to put him in his place for his knowledge. And I bet Earl leaned into it so he wouldn't find out about you.
So Dad's been BSing me. He knew who I was and what I could do this whole time. He just didn't want me to get into something I couldn't
Start looking,
handle.
Start exploring, make yourself known, get either twisted or killed.
Okay. Well, I respect that.
But yeah, there's no way, I don't think he could ever bend Amy to his will, so yeah, I think he had her killed. And then whenever I wanted to leave him, then this is what I know now.
Just curious, who died first? Amy? Okay. But how long did it take you to figure out that it was him?
I still don't know
You don't
that
know,
it was.
but you just started having your suspicions.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so I don't. So that's all my cards on the table. And Balthazar is doing things that she looks at Dane that we would have ever known were possible. Your bracelet, I think it was made of Balthazar's subspace.
What bracelet?
Did we ever find out about that? You came clean about that, didn't you?
No, I don't think she
Never.
ever did.
I thought she did at one point.
No,
Nope.
I mean, when London came to get her, she was just like, I made a deal, and I didn't
She
I
wasn't
didn't follow
specific
through.
about the
Yeah, no.
bracelet
Right.
spying thing. Gotcha.
So yeah.
So we'll have to come back to that at some point.
So whenever
Whoa, what bracelet?
Or maybe just get to it now.
The deal I made that has landed me in such hot water was to wear a bracelet all the time.
Okay.
For fashion?
They didn't give me any information other than just wear this bracelet and give me a bunch of money.
Yeah,
Like, okay, we're friends. So, like, I don't. Can I make an insight or something? I don't want to like make an assumption because I have meta knowledge, but so like, can we do that?
Sure.
She's a gypsy who murdered a man by smashing him in the head with a brick. So, I mean, a healthy amount of skepticism seems warranted.
I'm not gonna make it, so it's fine. But it's like I don't want to be like, I don't want to push it if it's one of those things where it's like I don't have an in-character reason to push it. So, failed miserably.
Me too.
So an insight. What's your insight about? Except you just want to. What dots are you trying to connect?
Is she being truthful?
Right.
All the information.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is she being forthcoming?
Like I don't know. I don't have any more information other than that. That was what the insight specifically was on.
So whenever you entered the subspace wearing that bracelet, I could recognize it just smelled of Balthazar. So I knew something was wrong.
Oh, that's icky.
Polo by Ralph Lauren.
So the most I can tell is he's done something that we didn't think was possible, in that he's able to pull. There are things you can take some things they change if they go from subspace to the real world, but he's taking the mutable essence of subspace out, which I did not think was possible.
That is, yeah. So you're saying that bracelet was literally subspace?
Literally a chunk of his subconscious.
Do we have that bracelet still?
No,
Where'd it go?
I lost it intentionally.
And then London found it.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand, but man, if we had it, maybe we could,
Glowworm.
use it. Yeah.
Well, if we had it, he could probably hear what exactly was going on
Well,
right now. So.
It was far from a perfect technology. I was able to put it in a little bubble of my own subspace and block it out. But at any other time, it would have been a perfect telephone from anything around it directly into his subconscious. So
Okay.
It's a perfect spine, almost perfect spine tool.
Okay. Do you know London?
No, I
Okay.
can't say I know London.
He's a fixer.
I imagine your father probably had several.
Yeah, probably. I'm just curious because that's the jerk who has kidnapped Liz's mom and is bountying her off, but her aunts are in town, so we're gonna take care of that.
Good.
I mean,
I would only imagine he was just looking at people close to you and probably just saw you as the most exploitable option, because it certainly wasn't going to be you.
Well, not anymore anyway.
If anything, he's probably planning on some way to kill you. Yeah, she's pointing to Benji. Because, oh man, does he hate your dad.
the Barneses.
Yeah, they had quite the falling out. That was a bit of a show.
Now, that's one thing. If there's ever been a more perfect antithesis of Balthazar, it is Benjamin Barnes. And that drives Balthazar insane.
It's good to know.
I'll try not to piss him off worse than he already is.
No.
Oh, we're gonna.
I get the feeling that
And the more.
We're gonna
you're
piss
actually
him
going
off.
to try and piss him off way more than he already is before you're done.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I have a.
Kind of had my looks into Luke for a while now. That's really been my focus. But
Kenny's over here setting goals about Balthazar.
Yeah.
just have to get some new posters and.
So your band took quite a turn for all of you. I really only meant to connect the two of you to Dane for protection, but it looks like the two of you definitely have way more connections to, I don't know, this is way more coincidence than I ever would have thought.
Well, I mean, we're vegan, so we were bound to get involved at some point.
You see, you say that, and then looks like Dane perks up for a second. When we go back, let me introduce you to my mother.
Oh,
Is she
okay.
vegan too?
My mother is one of the earliest vegans.
Ooh.
Not out of a decision that, like, I care about animals, I want to change the world, I'm better than people. Like, she did it because lentils were cheaper than meat. And and she gave us the meat. So
By virtue of
being poor and
mom.
caring for her kids, she was a vegan.
Does she know people at the Vegan Academy?
Yes.
Good. Maybe she can get us well connected.
Does she know Vajigan?
The king, Prince Vajigan,
Yes.
Prince of all vegans. Of course.
Okay, I was just curious.
They dated in high school.
Wow. Whoa, holy crap. That's impressive.
Well, I've just got to ask one more question for Aurora, and I've already asked Dane this. Do you know, given your history with my mom and your awareness of her powers, her glowworm powers and everything else, are you aware, since you basically exist in subspace now all the time, is there anything you know that can be done to help someone who's been a victim of someone implanting the glow into somebody else, particularly a non-subspace user?
Joe,
Yeah, Jill has been infected, and we think by
my guess is Ignatius.
possibly Ignatius,
Because
and we want to help her, but
Ignatius
we
is
don't know
the
how.
oldest, so I would certainly imagine Balthazar would try to get the biggest power on the first kid he could. So I think that's probably a pretty strong bet. I bet Gwendolyn is a seeker, is what I would imagine as well. Has he been able to find you at weird places?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would imagine the kids across the board probably have a smattering of the talents.
But do you think she can be helped, or is it a done deal for Jill?
I don't know of a way. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I don't know of a way to undo the glow.
Okay.
It's managing it. One, it depends on how many shards of glow are in her.
My guess would be the maximum. At least 3 that has been mentioned.
3's the max that I know of.
It might be more.
I'd say it might be less, just because maybe not being a subspace user, maybe she's just more susceptible to it. Maybe it has more potent effect on her.
Could be. I don't know.
Lower doses, so to speak. I don't know either. It's speculation.
But she's got it bad.
She's got it pretty bad.
Have you ever tried to access her subspace?
You're talking to Aurora?
Yeah.
The Jill subspace?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I could. It sounds like Sounds like I probably need to, and I can just see how much glow she has.
Well, for what
Can I
it's...
talk to her about it first?
Sure.
I have to. You can't just go in
Have
there.
you told her about subspace?
I've asked her about it vaguely.
I don't think the defenses would buff themselves up, but I also don't know what Balthazar's figured out.
I mean, is there a way we can ask her without without mentioning subspace? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's right just to go in there. That's like breaking into somebody's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No, I
Yeah, but I mean, that's also like she is under extreme duress at the moment. You don't
being
ask.
held hostage.
Yeah, you don't ask, the victim of a car wreck whether or not they should get, resuscitated.
Or cut out of the car.
Right, yeah, you just kind of do it. So I understand wanting to keep her.
I think maybe under the proviso that we're not going in there. Just your mom. Just don't. Yeah, keep whatever you see to yourself. We're not here to invade her privacy. We just want to see what level of danger she's in and whether or not there's a chance to help her.
Yeah, but I mean,
You could also just ask her, "Hey, you need some help?"
okay.
The other
Just
thing,
see.
the only
I'm
problem.
glad your heart's in the right place. I get it. I'm proud of you for that.
Well, it's just, if we don't, even if you were to go in there and find out how many, fragments of glow is in there, we don't know how to get rid of it. So why even, I understand the more knowledge we have, the better, but I don't know.
It could potentially give us insight into who's manipulating her.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
well.
a pretty good idea already, I feel like.
I mean, but because Aurora's been saying, I don't know to the extent that Balthazar is, essentially exploiting subspace and apparently mining it now.
Well, we know
to an
he's at the root of it,
Yeah.
for sure, because he's hurting everyone around me. Why in the world would he not exclude her?
Right.
So we know, I have no doubt in my mind that he's behind that. And I think it makes perfect sense that it would be Ignatius. I just don't know how to deal with that. Like, do I kill him in the real world? I mean, like, what's the solution?
I mean, I think eventually he would try to use her against you to get you to do all the things he does with the other kids. If he's awakened abilities and you have them naturally, then you probably have the most potential. And I don't know what he's done with Junior. I'm worried.
He's missing, or he's hidden away.
He's hidden away. I don't know. That I have the worst feeling about. But
He is the worst, so that checks out.
So during the experiments in Project Mindful, not you, but whoever was looking for ways to pass talents to other people.
you mean like awakened talents? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a way to sort of find out if and some people don't have them. Not every single subspace user has a talent. Like vaults and glowworms are far more rare than the others, but the others are still rare in and of themselves.
Is it possible that, but you've never met anybody that had more than 2 of those talents?
No, there were some that had more than that.
Oh, okay.
How do you tell?
Exploring their own subspace. There's just sort of a working with them that you can draw out certain signs, which Dane is good at that.
So maybe we can work with him to
I can help see
develop
if you have,
our powers.
See if you have talents. I also have my own theories about the glow, involving trying to undo it. So why am I immune to it? So it appears that I know my memory, being a vault, is stronger. I know all of my defensive abilities.
This is Dane talking?
This is Dane.
Okay.
So, from what I understand, the glow being a shard of someone's mind, that the glow just can't penetrate whatever shield I naturally have. So, but if it's someone's mind, if it's just an idea, generally it's just each glow is so as simple as a sentence is all it is. So if your girlfriend Jill,
She's not my girlfriend.
your
Lady friend.
She's my friend.
Crush.
Sure, crush, but friend sounds a lot more respectable.
your friend Jill.
Church crush.
So I would imagine, because what you said, something about a Scot.
Yeah, there's a guy that she's with named Scott, and
God.
he's been in touch with my brother Ignatius to gain seduction tips, and now Jill
She's a glow.
she's glowing, and it's all about him. It's all about Scott.
So I would imagine if she has 3, if you would suspect she has 3 shards, each shard has to be something very simple, like you are Scott's girlfriend. And that idea takes hold, and the more she fights it, she will actually start to shred her mind to pieces. So if
She tried and got really sick.
if she starts to glow, she is mentally being hurt. So stop. If you see the glow actually trigger, she is.
We've definitely seen that.
That is the glow harming her to get her to stop trying to resist. The stronger she resists, the more her mind is hurt. So that's why I'm sure she is sick, got hurt. Like it is. It's like those suggestions embed themselves in her mind, will start tearing itself apart to take those ideas in.
Have it make sense, almost.
Yes. And you can build and make it stronger by those 3 ideas reflecting on one another. So it could be, you are Scott's girlfriend, you do anything Scott tells you to do, and you are obedient to Scott. So then those 3 will overlap and only become stronger, and then hurt her 3 times as worse if she tries to resist. They all have to work in concert, though. Otherwise, they'll fail.
How do you mean they have to work in concert?
They can't. If you're going to use to strengthen, they all need to relate to each other somehow.
Okay.
So, but it could be, you are Scott's girlfriend, you hate crackers. 2 separate
Scott's
ideas.
a cracker. So they strengthen each other.
But if you said something like blue is yellow and blue is red,
Those contradict each other. Glow fails.
But you've also said that by adding a fragment, that doesn't remove the other one.
Because say if we work together and one of you have your mother's ability and you're a glowworm, you couldn't go in and implant another one. It would just automatically fail.
Because three's
the limit.
limit.
Plus, you couldn't. It's unfair in that it's almost whoever gets there first.
Okay.
You could, if there were room for you to implant another suggestion that might somehow help her, but then I worry that the idea starts tearing her mind apart.
Right. Yeah.
But the glow itself, it's subspace. It's subconscious.
It's someone else's,
It's someone else's subspace there.
like the bracelet, but within subspace.
Right. Theoretically, you should be able to go into it. We've never done it, but everything that I know, my own research, you could go into that glow and undo it.
I want that bracelet.
There are other powers in this world besides subspace, and that's where I think things like that would come in handy. I think if you have something, if there's a form of magic that could stabilize and hold that in, I think there should be a way to hold the glow in place, enter it like you would any other subspace, and just tear it apart.
That's great.
I'm sure this is an endeavor. That's the only thing I can think of to get rid of the glow. Even someone who manifests the glow can't even take it back once they implant it. So it seems like it's only, I can see where it could be used for good, but eventually it's not going to be. And it's so permanent and so damaging that it's just, that's why it's incredibly rare and the most dangerous.
But how good can something be if you're doing it through pure subjugation?
Right.
I mean, no one's making the right decision. If it were to be used for good, I mean...
And even then, it can't be very complex. And even if it's ultimately a complete anathema to the person's personality, like if we were able to get into Balthazar and implant the glow into Balthazar and give the opposite of everything he wants to do, he could probably last a very long time, but eventually the glow would win. From what we've seen, the glow always wins.
I don't know what to do about him.
I don't either.
Other than, eventually confront him, but then what? I mean, if we kill any of these people in subspace, they're just going to be in comas and die in the real world, and that's murder. I mean, that's kind of a problem, right?
See,
I mean,
Dane just, to me, it sounds like he needs to die, and the police are not going to pay attention to.
I'm not worried about I am worried about the police, but I'm also worried about just killing somebody. I mean, I don't know. I gotta think about some stuff for a long... I don't know. I just gotta think about stuff. There's a lot. It's been a busy day here in Vegas.
You see, and then Aurora turns. I agree with you. I don't think... to the point, I think killing Balthazar would be a mistake. Even if it could be done... I'm sure it could be done physically on the other side. But that's not to say he couldn't become like me and be an even worse... What's the Star Wars thing?
Like a force ghost?
Yes.
Yeah. Strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
That's what I would worry about.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing to do may be just trying to find out what his goal is, undoing what he's trying to do there, undo his defenses, and get into his subspace and see what can be done on the other side.
Yeah, his subspace I have no problem just barging into if we get the opportunity.
well, you said that it's like all the other kids are basically like standing in front of the door, essentially. And what happens if we incapacitate them?
we'd have to figure out a way to just not to put them in comas, not to kill them, but just
Back down.
I would imagine they
Well,
all have the glow.
if
we can undo the glow.
If what you're saying is true and that they've been implanted and printed upon, then yeah, if we can undo it, then yeah, they don't have nothing bad has to happen to them.
We just have to undo the glow.
We just have to undo the glow, which means we have to go into, I guess that would be Balthazar's subspace if he has implanted, whoever has implanted him, the glow. We have to go into that, and then we'd be going into their subspace.
So I would imagine, I don't know if he could have ingrained them all into his subspace so well he has access to all their talents. I don't know.
Well, so you've been jaunting around looking through subspace for Amelia for quite a while. You've been aware of the children's subspace for some time. How long have they had active subspaces? Because we're assuming that they weren't born that way, but that they've somehow been awakened. At what point could you pinpoint a rough time frame that started happening? Within the past 10 years?
Probably around that. Around the time I woke up here.
How old is Junior?
Junior is like, I don't know, 6-ish. I mean, like this is kind of one of these things where it's like, if we're trying to figure things out based on like ages and timelines and stuff.
And time is very strange for me.
Wibbly wobbly.
Let's be honest.
But yeah, I mean, he's a kid. I mean, he's like grade school, like young.
It's weird that his subspace is that you can't find it and you can't find him in subspace.
Very weird.
And I'm wondering, is that a result of Balthazar using him to somehow activate the other kids? Does he have a talent maybe that you all had never seen before, and that now he's the one ultimately responsible for all of this, not of his own making necessarily,
Right.
Entirely possible. There are a lot of people on Earth, and I imagine a lot of people have access to subspace, and if they're not a tunneler, they could never be found. So there could be talents we have no idea about.
All right. Well, that's a lot to unpack.
We kind of researched that on the board.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I mean,
we've got
that's-
Dane to work with too on this as well to get more insight into it and things of that nature.
So then it would be good if we can, I think the easiest thing to do before we alert Balthazar, 2 birds, is to try and get the glow out of your friend.
yeah, there are a lot of things that I want to do, and they all seem to involve the glow. So,
So you're a tunneler.
Jzadirune, that's one of my, yes, I'm a tunneler and a saboteur.
Could you take us to somebody else's subspace? Speaking of killing 2 birds with one
If it's
stone,
someone brand new, though, it takes a while.
what if you had a physical thing of theirs?
If I came in physical contact with them, that makes it take fewer days.
But if you had something that belonged to them?
It might help a little. If I know their real name, that helps.
are you thinking of Ignatius, or what are you
I'm
thinking?
thinking of Irish Lass.
Yeah, we
Irish
gotta find
Lass.
Irish Lass.
I was thinking maybe we could return this thing to her in subspace and
Good
save a
point.
whole lot of traveling to Ireland. But,
Yeah, meeting in subspace would be preferable. But I mean, worst case scenario, we could maybe find a door in Ireland.
Well, we haven't
But I agree. yeah,
checked
if
the
we could
boards in
find
a
her.
while or heard from her.
Blake has my number. He can
Yeah,
call.
that's true.
And he hasn't called. So, but you're right. We definitely should check the boards.
And my chances of conjuring a door to go where we need to go are increasing daily.
That's good because mine seem to be decreasing.
Because you see, because Dane raises his hand, so I see where you're going, and I see that it's necessary. If you know other subspace users, that's good. Things can get done, but that's also going to be a signal flare to other powers that be. So we have to be very careful in balancing that.
Have you ever witnessed that before? The whole like multiple subspace users like giving off a signal that they're there and like consequences from those actions?
Only in Jzadirune. So I would imagine meeting in the real world would probably have less consequences than gathering in subspace. Although I know there are certain benefits.
So this is real bad right now.
Right.
I mean, especially considering, Mom and everything.
Well,
that now we're at 4.
Correct. I should just appear as a non-presence to almost everybody, though. Seekers can't find me. I'm immune to the glow, so I'm almost just a blank slate to anybody who's trying to look.
So far as you know, Balthazar has no idea that you're a subspace user.
I don't know that. He sought me out, so I would actually assume that he does.
But why aren't you dead yet if that's the case? I mean, I realize that you're a multimillionaire.
Well, I do take care to always have security, but he can't get at me through subspace.
Do you know if you have the glow or not?
Would I know?
Would anybody know? But specifically, yes, you.
A powerful seeker can detect the glow. Do I know of a living one? No.
Because, please, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm noticing a lot of similarities between yours, not just your talent, but how special you are, and the fact that Mom can't find Junior.
True. Aurora said the difference is that I have made physical contact with Junior, and I still can't find him. I could find Dane. So even if Junior was a vault, I could find him. I can't find him, even if he were the most powerful vault. Everything that I know, I should be able to find him. But you're right, he could have something different that we've never encountered.
I'm just worried, all this glow stuff is like, what if you have it and you don't know it? What if you're being manipulated and you don't know it?
It's entirely possible. If it's one shard with a very simple command that you wouldn't naturally fight against, yeah, it could go undetected.
So my siblings, there's a really good chance that they don't even know.
Yeah. It could be something simple as, obey your father and make him proud.
Right, which is something that they would...
Very simple.
Right, and might be naturally inclined to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if Ignatius is a glowworm, at least he would surely recognize the signs of it in himself.
Mom, what say you?
That's where I don't know, because I don't know if we never studied a glowworm trying to implant a glow in themselves. So unless...
If you're going to do that, do it in your room.
So I couldn't tell you. That's uncharted territory.
Well,
it's a good thought. That is, yeah. That brings up a pretty big question.
You see, but Dane, just whatever he has going on, it's still certainly aimed at my show next month. So, and it seems like it's certainly helped all of you grow stronger working with Link. So
Link's pretty great.
Link is a good man.
man, we thought you were the worst.
We did think that you were
We
the
just
worst.
assumed you were an asshole.
Whole
Yeah.
different.
We thought we were gonna have to do mortal battle with you at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a
Don't
whole
get
thing.
me wrong. I and under no false pretenses, I am not a good man. I love who I love. I defend who I defend. But I've heard a lot of people to defend the people that I love and get to where I am. So I'm not going to say that I'm a good man. I'm not. But we are certainly allied in this regard. And I'm sure he looks over.
Kind of hurts my feelings a little bit, Dane. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we connected here in subspace.
Yeah, but we only met you 4 days ago. So it's
I form relationships quickly, Mitchie.
I'm sure Aurora is probably not entirely pleased that I'm the last option that she has. And she,
What are you gonna do?
yeah, I'm not. You're the only one who ever gave my sister and I what for, since we couldn't really do anything to you. He's like, and I'm a jerk. I'm not evil enough that I could become a gym teacher, but Rick the producer works. So, but we're certainly allies. Don't commit me with any warm fuzzies, because that's not me. But
Too late.
I want to help each other.
I got him. You don't have to have him.
nah, fuck your feelings.
Pleasant surprise is what I've got going on. It's just like, oh, thank God, because we're under the assumption that we've been working for the enemy.
Right.
all along. And
Yeah,
now
it is
we
a
find
relief.
out that we at least have this in common.
That we're at least allied
didn't
with a
try to-
potential enemy in the future.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
but only to find out that you're living with the biggest enemy.
Oh, I kind of knew that.
This is
Yeah,
an
since
enemy
the
of my
day that I
enemy kinda
came
deal,
online.
All right, so
Well, and then I also it helped a lot that I was able to get in contact with Mr. Cobb, says Aurora.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's actually been very helpful. Oh,
Went Irvin.
Yeah, I was like, who?
Mr. Cobb.
Yeah.
he exists on a similar plane to this.
So you got in touch with him.
Uh-huh.
He exists. Say that again.
He exists on a similar plane reality dimension to subspace.
Okay.
Not subspace, but something like it.
Yeah.
Very.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
different
like-
level of the tower.
He's like an echo of subspace that is so strong it exists in the real world.
Okay. I mean, he is strong.
And he liked you and was willing to help you out. So he
I like him too.
helped me get everywhere I needed to go.
I'm really glad to hear that.
So he's a good ally to have.
I think he's great. I'm glad that you approve, and I'm relieved that you know about him. And yeah, no, that's all. I think it's great. That makes
Now-
you feel good.
He's tried to protect you in other ways. One, I would also, I don't know, if we could bring your father more into it to protect you, all of you on the outside, even further.
Benji's father.
Yeah.
Your father has his own special kind of power.
Yeah. I met my great grandfather in here a while back, and he gave me a scroll. There's been something going on there. So, I'm still not completely sure because he's only talked in vague, high-minded ideals at this point.
There
So
are many different kinds of power in the world, and your dad is definitely tapped into one of them.
well, I'm sure he will get involved at some point.
And about that time, all of your rings start to glow.
Uh-oh.
Should these things be working in subspace?
I don't know if they should, but they appear to be.
Are we effectively physically speaking, in Las Vegas right now?
You see, Dane just, yes.
Okay.
We need to go.
We need to go. Yeah, but
Well, not necessarily because we're like 2,000 miles from Paducah, and this thing's starting to glow now.
and what's the radius on this? Like 500?
500 miles
We should probably go pretty
We
soon
should probably
anyway.
go, but-
to get ahead of it.
Definitely talk to Dane's mom.
oh yeah, we need to stop and talk to your mom.
I really think you should.
Oh, let's do it.
I'm going to call you Dane now. I feel like we're close enough.
Yes, that's fine.
Maybe
Double D.
when we're not around other people, we'll call him Dane. But
I
I don't
don't
want to play the card. We're not trying
mean-
to brag.
You do you.
Do you play any instruments?
No.
Oh,
No.
we can bring you on as a special guest.
No, absolutely not.
Double D and the Cake Boys or something.
That's cute, but no.
Double D and the Cake Boys. Write it down. Because that's pretty good.
But remember, he doesn't want to talk band business.
Right. But this isn't band business. This is just renaming the band. It's
Yeah.
different.
Well, I think now that he knows what we were coming here for, he could give a shit about the band business anyway. So
Well, we need to keep that up, I think, for your own improvement and
Yeah, for sure.
to not bring, because whatever weapon, I don't want to do the Balthazar trigger right now.
yeah. All right. What's your mom's name?
Maria. So then everyone is going to leave back out to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay.
We're gonna go see Maria
Just
first.
leave her now. Because you see Aurora goes, she grabs Dane's arm and just looks at him kind of pleadingly. And he looks at her and just nods his head. I'll do my best. I understand why you did what you did. And in the end, it might give me some peace as well. So I am on board with the plan that you forced me into.
Yay! Hug. Just kidding. I know you're not into that.
Thank you. And then Aurora just, I'll be here.
Oh, great. That's great. That's fantastic. I'm sorry that you're stuck here.
Well, I mean, it's good and it's bad. I'm glad at least I have here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if my hope is that in the last moment, Amy was able to throw her subconscious just wildly into subspace.
Or maybe she's on that plane with Irvin Cobb.
She could be like, in that horrible moment. If anybody could find her in that way, maybe it's him. But I'm hoping that she's just spinning out because it was so fast that she's spinning out here somewhere in subspace, and I just have to find her.
Well, obviously we'll help with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In any way that we can. I mean,
Yeah, she hugs both of you around the neck, and then turns and hugs each one of you in turn. Thank you for being friends to my boys here.
Sure. They're good boys.
I'm here for both of you in the same kind of way, even if I got terse with you outside of Jzadirune.
For good reason.
Mama Bear.
Okay, have fun.
Don't die.
yeah, we'll show, yeah, well, yeah,
Have
we're
fun
gonna
storming
try.
the castle.
Right. We'll be back
Yeah,
soon,
We'll be
I'm
back
sure.
A lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
it's pretty intense, boyo.
I know, Irvin Frog. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you to my mom.
It's all right.
Things were kind of weird, you know?
It's very.
They're still weird.
I'm a frog. Just hang out in your pocket.
I
get
know.
it.
I
get
wasn't
it.
sure how much to
How
just...
many voices does Tyler want
Okay.
to do all at once?
All right, before we leave, I'm sorry, but I didn't lay all of my cards on the table. I have a talking frog in my pocket. I'll pull out Urban Frog. Everybody, this is Urban Frog. Urban Frog, this is everybody.
Where did that come from?
Dane just looks at the frog. All right. I do like frogs.
I'll put them back in my pocket.
And then you all leave out the 2-star door from your space back into Dane's subspace, and then back out into Vegas.
I just realized I'm a little rascal, essentially. Just carrying a frog around.
You're Ron Weasley. Trevor!
Yeah, so once you're out into Dane's again.
Which, speaking of Dane subspace, did you all describe the weirdness that you saw in there before to us?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Because
Quiz
this
note.
certainly
You said
isn't.
the marionettes and the money.
This certainly isn't what you described. So.
No. I was very close to bringing up the marionettes.
Yeah, I'm.
But he seems like a guarded fellow, so maybe
Yeah, I
it's
just
not a
really
good
want to
idea.
kind of leave sleeping dogs alive here. Let's try to get in a little less mortal danger before we bring up something like that.
Because once you get back out, he goes and pours himself another drink, knocks that down.
Is our ring still glowing out here?
Yes. So what is this about?
Oh, the rings?
Yes.
Liz?
It's an indication from my aunts that the man who wants my mom is on the way, getting close to where they are.
And we don't want that, right?
Well, they're getting close to us.
Is this tied into Balthazar's plot?
Probably. We just don't know it, is my guess. Because
Yeah.
So he.
it is in that bracelet, right? Because the Mr. London who assaulted Liz and stole her mom.
Right.
So an agent of your father put a
Balthazar,
subspace. Yes, here the sperm donor. The Balthazar put a chunk of his subspace onto you to spy on Lim, and then you broke this bargain somehow, and in retaliation, they kidnapped your mother.
Correct.
And now the bounty has been shifted to a Romani crime boss, basically, that had ties to her mother, and he wants her. And so London, being the stand-up guy that he is going to the highest bidder with this.
Well, and he also made it sound like he wanted no part of upsetting this gypsy king. And so he sounded like he did the whole thing with the bracelet obviously happened from Balthazar, but he's actually kind of going against Balthazar and sending it to the next highest bidder. And he said even if it wasn't about the money, there's no way he would cross this guy. So it's almost as if he's more scared of this guy than Balthazar.
Ominous. All right, so this Romani king, what's his name?
The Gray Wolf?
Black Wolf.
The Black Wolf?
The Black Wolf. All right. I'll see if I can't find something out about that. But okay,
Cool.
So who is London? Is a fixer? Like
Yeah.
a lawyer?
Yeah, I don't know what his capacity. I've never met him. I've only talked to him on the phone after.
He seems more like a
Vampire.
like a gopher and a muscle.
Yeah, like supernatural muscle.
Supernatural. Do tell.
He was able to create a field where my vegan powers did not work.
Are you vegan?
We rarely talk about it.
It is surprising how rarely you talk about it. It's true.
Would you like wine glasses to smell your own farts? Have those.
I brought my own, thank you.
Thanks.
He was also able to shift his appearance to look like my mother.
Well, that's also curious then. A shapeshifter, anti-vegan properties. I'll have to ask the Academy if they know of anything like that. Never heard of that.
Nerver.
Nerver. Well, please, I'd like to introduce you to my mother.
Yeah.
So he leads you around back to a bedroom that has like double doors that he opens up, and it's a large room where you see a bed, a large like hospital bed, and you see there are all sorts of machines hooked up on either side. You see this sort of a frail older woman hooked up to several things. Gray hair tied up in a bun. Looks like he's got an enormous TV in front of her where she's watching some sort of like a Greek soap on it. And he just walks up. Mother, I have some people I'd like to introduce you to. And you see she slowly just turns and smiles. She has all her teeth, very, very nice. She looks like she's got to be 80 or 90. And when she looks over and looks at each of you, your aura's very strong. And I can tell by the white outline that you two are vegans. And then from that kind of rainbowish glow that you two are like my son. That is I don't know. You're quite the gang to have this amount of energy. It's very interesting.
You can read auras?
I can.
That's pretty neat.
It's a semi-rare gift, but I've practiced it for a very long time. And being a vegan helps it.
Can I offer you a soy tofu ball?
I would love one, thank you.
Give her one of my soy tofu. You look a little peckish.
Not those precious Cheerios.
Oh, insane!
I just met
Those aren't
this
even
woman.
vegan. Yeah, she takes it, and you see, like, Dane goes over, and he gets like a blood while she's talking to you, he gets like a blood pressure cuff, and he's checking it. She's checking her stats. He pulls out. He actually he looks at his watch. He counts down her pulse, and then looks like he actually draws something out with a needle and gives it to her. Goes over, does like a full work down while she's talking.
I notice you're watching a Greek soap. Are you from the old country?
My parents were. So they came over here a long time ago, and then they had nothing. They came here to sort of try to make their fortunes, and I stayed here as a housekeeper all over Vegas.
I apologize if this is an offensive question, but did you come from a family of gypsies by any chance?
Oh, travelers, maybe.
Does the name the Black Wolf mean anything to you?
You see she kind of shrinks back a little bit. And Dane looks surprised, looks at her, then looks at you, then looks at her. Don't upset my mother. She raises her hand and just like, it's okay, it's okay. I have heard many stories of the Black Wolf, actually. That's a tale all over the old world. Well, I suppose it could be the same ancient force of nature, or it might just be a mantle that's passed down. But what's the word? She says something in Greek, and when Dane looks up, Loop-Guru, lycanthrope, werewolf, something of that nature.
Oh.
She's like, yes, that he, an evil, terrible man who blades bounce off of him, fire dies on his black pelt, and he can transform into a black wolf the size of a 6-horse carriage.
That sounds awful.
So it's something that was used to scare children because he would steal bad children out of their beds and gobble up the sinners who didn't go to church and things like that.
Which is more likely, that these stories are actually real, or that somebody might use them to their own advantage if they wanted to present themselves as the Black Wolf?
From what I learned, there are never any solid truths and never any solid lies in this world. So, honestly, from what my experience, the most common thing is right in the middle. And there may be werewolves, and they may be made out to be worse than they actually are. But I can see both of you have been vegans for a while.
I'm a little newer to the game.
All my life.
So you're closer. Come here, let me see your hand. Yeah, she takes it.
When she grabs his hand, I'm just gonna glance over at Dane, just gauge a reaction on any of this.
He's busy himself taking care of her, but he's got like one eye locked onto this interaction. You could tell he's paying direct attention without looking like he's paying attention. And it's here. And then when she does that, she taps your hand, and that's when suddenly it's just like you feel, it's almost like a belch just rolls out of the middle of your chest and up, and whenever it comes up, your big lines made of hair goes completely white and goes up in the air. Your eyes go white, smoke just starts rolling out of them and rolling off your skin, and you float up a foot off the air.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Lim starts clapping.
That's okay, that's and then whenever she taps your hand again, then it just and you land back down.
Was that your first time?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm freaking out.
You were ready for that. That's your minor vegan form. You've been in the game long enough that some of your powers are getting stronger. Good.
Okay, that's good. That freaked me. That's a little freaky, but I'm down with freaky. It's all right. I didn't expect to get freaky with a 9-year-old lady today, but no, I didn't mean it like that, Dane.
See, Dane's got that needle.
Dane, put down the gun. Dane.
Poor choice of words. I'm sorry.
Needle gun. Looks like it. And then she looks over to you, dear.
I'll give her my hand.
And you see, and she does the same thing to you. It's like, and it's there. And she points like a pressure point on your hand. The exact same thing happens to you, only your much longer hair goes up and the smoke comes out, only you see more white veins sort of pop out from around your neck than on Benji. And she, now there's something else there too. And you see she digs into your pressure point a little bit, and that's when it tries to get a little bit painful, but then that's when like you get more white veins around your eyes, and your hair takes sort of an electric quality to it. She's like, no, there's something. I'm not going to hurt you. So she lets go, and you float back down. She's like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that. There's something deeper there. I don't know what it is. Be careful.
I will.
Well, I have a Zoom call with the vegan chancellor next week, and I'll say that I met the two of you.
Oh, that'd be great. I haven't interacted with him much. I only did a correspondence course, but
Oh, well.
You mean like a conference call, right, on your telephone?
Yes, yes, that's exactly what I meant. I'm
No
sorry.
offense, ma'am. I just want to, get in front of anything that, people in the future might say.
You're right. I guess I can see into the future a little bit. I get confused sometimes.
yeah, I mean, she is a vegan.
Yeah, look, I'm not questioning at all. I just,
No, I'm a vegan, and I have just a touch of my son's abilities. So I don't know. Normally those are very contradictory, but
You can use subspace?
not like you can.
Oh, trust me, I can't really. Yeah, as we've seen time and time again, I can barely use it. So
I can manipulate it a little bit, but that's it. Nothing like what I can see in your aura, and nothing like what my son can do.
Well, we'd love to come back and visit sometime and hear vegan stories.
Yeah, no, please come back. You're welcome anytime. She looks over at Dane. Yes, you're welcome anytime.
Thanks, Dane.
You're welcome.
Thanks, D-Money.
I think you should rest now, Mother. That's more activity you've had in a while. I am a little tired after that, so I think you're right.
your son's like really helping us out. So you definitely did something right.
She looks at him then. Really?
Well,
He's being very nice about it all. He doesn't have to do what he's doing. So
Well, that makes me very happy. And she reaches out and touches his arm, and he just, thank you, Mother. Circumstances are what they are. Like, well,
I'll take it.
he motions everybody out and shuts the door. Well, I've got one last proposal. If all of you are interested.
Well, we are in Vegas.
Exactly. He goes over and he opens up that safe again.
I know what you're
Starts
gonna do.
turning.
I know what you're going to do, Dane.
He pulls out one box.
oh, I'm absolutely doing this. You fucking A-Rod, I'm doing this.
He pulls out one box and then pulls out a stack of playing cards. This is a
Every single game.
This is a very, very special deck of playing cards that I won from a strange traveling gentleman. I have never seen him again, and he was almost happy to have lost our game and gave me this. He called this the deck of many things.
Yes.
And a person in their life can only draw from the deck of many things. You get one game with this deck for your entire life. It has equal things, great and fantastical, and other things equally devastating and detrimental. It's all whatever kind of luck and whatever you think fate has out for you. So,
Well, if history's been any indicator.
I don't do this with many people.
Be gentle. It's my first time.
So I will give you the opportunity if you would like to play a game with the deck of many things.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
All right, so what I have here in this deck are 22 cards, face cards and twos. So only once now in your life, I'll offer it to you and you say how many cards you're going to draw. That
And then
becomes-
what, Dane?
That's immutable and cannot change no matter what. We will then draw cards one after the other until that number is met that you're saying that you do. Each card is a 50-50 chance of something a minor boon to an unbelievable gift of God to the exact opposite. A minor transgression to something devastating to your life. Benji, you look
Benji,
excited.
right?
Would you like to go first? You don't have to do this. This is just me giving you an opportunity.
I look at my WWICD bracelet.
What would
Irving
Cobb.
do.
Irving Cobb do? He'd probably play.
Yeah, I feel like he'd play.
What does Irvin Frog think about it?
I'm gonna play, Bob. Yeah, Urban Frog.
You gotta do it, boyo.
Yeah, right.
So we'll go around this way. We'll start with Benji, we'll go to Lim, and then if the two of you would like to play, it's up to you. All right. Benjamin Barnes, the fourth?
Yeah.
Or the third? The fourth. How many cards would you like to draw from the deck of many things?
I mean, you are the fourth.
Yeah. But if I draw 4 cards, it's gonna.
Your odds of picking 4 good things are extremely lower.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's go with 2. I think I'm gonna go
Two?
with 2. I'm gonna do 2.
Two.
I'm gonna do 2.
2.
I don't know that I've ever done 2. I think I usually choose to draw 1.
One, yeah.
But you know what? Let me go for it.
So draw your first card. Please flip it over. The King of Spades.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. Thank you. I'm not very
Actually
good
the
at
King of
this.
Wakanda.
The King of... These are
black.
Avengers playing cards.
Rest in peace, King.
Wakanda forever.
So the King of Diamonds. The King of Diamonds is known as the Sun.
That's probably good. Your skin melts off your body.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you got a stronghold.
You gain 50,000 experience points. And a wondrous item appears in your hand.
You're like level.
That
you're
I'm-
like level
I
20.
do believe that is the best card in the deck.
God. Nice. The second card, however.
You could also lose 50,000 experience points.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't write it down because I may draw the other one. I'll still get the wondrous item.
19.
It's one of those. What's that artifact that it's like the fortress that's like the Ant-Man fortress?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's a castle. You sit down and it shrinks and you can put it in your pocket.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so you gain a legendary sword, the Sword of Answering, which has 9 different incarnations. I'm now going to roll randomly for whichever Sword of Answering you get. They're all drastically different. They represent every different alignment in D&D. 0 would be, well, a 0 would be the only one I reroll. 5. You see a long sword appear in your hand, a topaz blade, and a stone hilt wrapped in, well, cloth. You gain the Sword of Answering Rebutter.
Okay.
It is a neutral good +3 longsword.
Let's go fight Balthazar right now.
Just you. We'll just sit back and watch.
And you thought I was going to be fucking hard to deal with before?
Yeah, it is intelligent.
Oh, man. What is the...
You looking up what level you are?
10. Oh, I'm sorry, 9.
All right, draw your last card.
Oh, boy. It's also red. I'm hoping
Yeah, I
like the
think
red
that's-
suits are
The
good.
Jack of
that's-
Hearts. The Jack of Hearts is the knight.
It is, isn't it?
You gain the service of a 4th level fighter who appears in the space within 30 feet of you. The fighter is
You know,
the same
our
race
level.
as you.
I gained Kenny.
Pretty much.
The same races you and serves you loyally until death, believing the fates have drawn you to this. So, I'll let you make a 4th level character of your choosing, and that is your steadfast companion.
Does he play an instrument?
Yeah. Right. So you have the 5th member of your band now.
we got cowbell, baby. Oh, that is hilarious.
Good pick.
Yeah, that was really good.
That could not have gone any better.
I don't think any of us should draw cards.
I think all the luck just got
I know. Yeah.
And there's one card that would have been more annoying to Tyler than me having my own fortress. It's me having a
The 4th level
companion.
fighter, yeah. You somehow managed to get some sort of companion in every game I run.
Like he had to outlaw leadership in all his campaigns because that's all I would take every time.
Well, not only do you have a 4th level fighter, you have a sentient sword.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to talk to this guy,
Yep. Sentient sword, now you're level 9.
and I need to see like.
I'm gonna have to drop your next level of vegan powers now that you get a level 8. Lem Bruford.
Yeah. Wow. Dane. Wow. Wild stuff. Right?
Weird, wild stuff. How many cards would you like to draw from the deck?
I was pretty confident that I wanted to do this until literally that happened. And now I'm really worried, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But 2, I appreciate you making the trip all the way over here. The end of this Wayne table. 1. Oh, can I go ahead and draw the second one? Or if this one instantly kills me, then there's no point in drawing the second
Well,
one.
if it's a joker, then it might get shuffled back in the deck.
Oh,
You can draw it again.
I got you.
So what did you draw?
Ace of Diamonds.
Ooh, that's probably good.
It's a red one.
The Ace of Diamonds is the Vizier. At any time you choose within 1 year of this moment, you can ask a question in meditation and mentally receive a truthful answer to that question.
Okay.
Besides information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with wisdom on how to apply it.
Okay.
So you have infinite knowledge for one question, and you have 1 year to ask it.
I will squander. I'm tempted to squander this right now. What's Dane's password to the safe?
So that stays out of the deck.
Oh, okay.
What's Jill's favorite Chinese dish?
Right.
But you get extra with that. So it's Peking duck. And if you buy it from a certain restaurant and give it to her, she will blow you.
So what is your second card?
Oh, that's a bad one.
Uh-oh.
King of Clubs.
King of Clubs. The King of Clubs is known as the Void.
The Void.
Sounds promising.
This black card spells disaster.
Dane, help me, Dane!
Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choosing.
Okay.
One or more powerful beings guard the place. While your soul is trapped in this way, your body is incapacitated.
Side
A wish
quest.
spell-
I'm playing a 4th level fighter, aren't I?
A wish spell can't restore your soul, but the spell reveals the location and the object that holds it. You draw no more cards.
Well, that's fine. I was out anyway.
So as soon as that happens, you just see a white thing just get ripped out of limb and vanish into the air, and he collapses.
Thud.
On the bright side, I'm pretty sure one of these cards is a single-use wish. So y'all might be able to find it.
But either one of you,
I'll just ask where I am with my infinite knowledge.
you could, yeah.
As a joke.
Don't answer that.
Either of you like. to
I
play.
would say that watching what has gone on Liz was probably like, you know what? Maybe I will do this. But after seeing that, she's going to say no.
Are you sure?
Sure.
There's money beyond your wildest dreams in this deck.
It's very, very tempting. But seeing him laying on the floor, probably I'm a little scared now.
Okay. Kenny.
I'm with her. I don't know what to do. It's tempting.
Come on, you pussies.
Oh, it's easy for you to say.
Yes.
Level 12. Fucking.
Have you met Colin?
Hey guys.
Fuck.
So what's your quest?
Don't worry, we'll talk about it later. It's death and destruction. It's fine.
Great. Can we go to Subway?
No.
Okay.
Quiznos.
Ugh.
You know what? Lim's not here. We can go to Subway.
Great.
This is a hard decision.
Yeah.
But I mean, if.
For what it's worth, would you agree that's probably one of the worst black cards?
Oh,
there
that's
are?
the worst black card.
Yeah, I mean, that's the-
Got
that's
it.
the worst one.
Got it in one. But it is shuffled back in the deck, so don't worry.
Yeah, maybe I'll get it too, and we'll both just go home.
I mean, the chances of that are relatively low.
That's 1 in 22.
There is the moon card. You get 1d3 wishes.
See, I knew there was a card in there somewhere. That
Yeah, I
worked.
gave wishes.
I'll draw 1 card.
1 card.
2 of spades.
The 2 of spades.
Did you write down an alignment?
Because of racist.
Neutral.
The card has no effect on you.
Okay. Suppose I
This
should-
is the card of balance.
The card of anxiety. Don't tell him what it does.
card of wasted a draw.
It would have switched your alignment.
Oh, but since I'm neutral, I'm
Has no effect.
okay.
So if you'd be neutral good, neutral evil.
Okay.
Or lawful neutral, chaotic neutral.
All right. Well, that
Lawful
was
good,
anticlimactic.
chaotic evil. You can draw again.
I can draw
You
again.
can draw again.
Okay.
If you would like. You don't have to.
What did?
I'm pushing it. I know, but I will draw 1 more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Well, like it
you're
would
gonna
work
be
out. I drew 2 good ones. He drew 1 of each. You drew.
I drew nothing essentially.
Yeah, but you drew a black card. So if the scales are in balance, you're probably going to draw a
Which
red.
they always are.
Yeah.
2 of diamonds.
There we go.
There we go. That's a good one.
2 of diamonds is the comet. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you gain a level.
Okay.
So yeah, the next thing you fight, if you challenge it in single combat and beat it, you gain a level.
Colin, get him.
Okay. We're still going to Subway though, right?
yeah. This will work out fine.
Okay. I get to use all my feats.
No.
I'm vegan, remember?
Liz, are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. And there we have the deck of many things.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
It was good.
And you see,
I don't
Dane-
enjoy what we're going to have to do to get you out of soul prison, but
Hey, I mean, right?
Dane,
I mean, it's worse on him. It's worse on Tyler
worse
than
on
it is
me.
on any of us.
Dane puts the deck back, puts it in his safe, and looks like he reaches back in and draws out a long package. And he opens up, and there is,
deck of many more things.
Even more things in this deck.
you see, it looks like a sword that has a die on the hilt. And he picks it up. Well, this is a very precious resource, but seeing as I just made a promise to Aurora, so he goes over and he has the sword in his hand, and he touches it to you, Lim.
Oh, Wishblade.
I wish to know the location of Lim Bruford's soul. He closes his eyes, and then he flitters for a second. Huh. Looks like we're going back to Jzadirune. End session.
Nice.
Lim, So next thing you know, you are floating in a white void.
Oh, this is actually kind of nice. Oh, I'm at peace. I'm at peace for once.
And your cell phone rings.
Ah! Okay. I'm just going to let it ring. I'm going to close my eyes and just let it ring.
It rings for all of eternity.
This is horrible. At least I picked a really, really good ringtone. I'll listen to that as long as until I get tired of it, which is going to be a long time.
I'll grab his phone out of his pocket. I'll grab his phone out of his pocket.
How did you get here?
Yeah, I guess it's on your physical body. Yeah. Benji, you pick up his phone.
Hello?
It stops ringing in the white void. Hey, Benji?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's Link.
Hey, what's up, man?
Well, bad news. I've lost all the money.
Oh, worst news. Lem's dead.
Dead?
Well, not technically dead, but we think that his soul is trapped in a prison, possibly in the location of the castle where we were in the subspace and the king baby almost killed Liz.
Oh.
A whole lot's happened. Dane's a surprisingly good guy, actually,
Oh,
as
really?
it turns out.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of threatened to shoot us at one point. His mom's really sweet, too.
Oh, you met his mom? I've never met his mom. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's great. She loves soy tofu balls.
Oh, you've met her. Remember Navi?
No, I meant Dane's mom.
Oh, Dane's mom.
Oh, yeah, Lem's mom was cool, too.
I thought she was missing.
Well, she is, but she's not missing
You
in
guys
subspace.
just went upstairs.
Yeah.
Well, while I'm sitting here with no money, I was making some sketches. You have any idea on a band name?
Don't look at me. I'm dead.
So there, I don't know. I like that, like Subspace Quartet or Casino Night Zone or Double D and the Cake Boys.
Something on the desk falls off in approval.
Irvin Frog, are you there?
Yeah, Urban Frog, he's got his hand next on Lem's temple. Yeah. Boyle likes that. He likes the cake one. Yeah.
All I hear are ribbits, but
Ribbit.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Lem's down with Double D and the Cake Boys, or Sweet D and the Cake Boys. Double D.
We're not all boys, though.
Yeah, but
Double D.
You're the Double D's.
Yeah, technically Dane Dawnstar is the Double D's, but
Yeah. They're the Cake Boys. And you're Double D.
I'm just gonna frown and shake my head disapprovingly.
I like
Well-
Casino Night Zone personally, or whatever.
I don't know. I just feel like a cake boy.
I won't object. I'll just frown.
What can you do with Double D and the Cake Boys?
A lot.
It's all right. It'll change next week.
All right. Double D and the Cake Boys. Well, let me know when you want to go get Lem.
It's only been gone 5
We'll do
minutes.
that.
You already forgot his
Sounds
name.
pretty good.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, everybody. This episode got out of
Totally
control.
first time you said that.
So we'll burn through it real quick. Thanks for listening. You find us on all the stuff. But really, let's hit that those Patreon donors real quick, Ian, if you'd be so
He
kind.
says, as I try to find the list. Okay, coming at you is a list of the people that we like to refer to as our executive producers. These lovely people donate $20 or more per month to the cause, and it is absolutely required by law that you sit here and listen to these names. I will start with cousin David Galino, Temporal Eternal Savior Cubicle Monkey, Plinko Nick Price, executive producer Dig Dougie, enthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Bantha Master, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile aka Gentle G, congratulations on your marriage, Usurper Grimm, Princess Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Landon, Pinball Archmates Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller, and Sick Jake, we're sorry you fell for the marketing. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And no new donors. So our theme song for these episodes is Mess by Anna Monoguchi. How you guys want to close it out?
As Lim's soul leaving his body.
I love it.
So until next time. So do you want to see what you would have drawn, Liz?
Sure.
What was your first inclination to how many cards were you going to pick?
Just one.
Just one.
Liz is leaning over and drawing the card.
All right, what
She's
is
looking
that
at
there?
it suspiciously. Oh.
Oh.
The King of Spades.
Ooh.
The King of Spades.
Spades. I think something tells me this is going to be a bad one.
Yeah, that's going to be a bad
That's
one.
going to be a
This is-
pretty
this is
bad one.
Captain America.
I want to see. Let me see.
Yeah, you got the Thor hammer.
This
and
might be the
everything.
Fight the Wraith one.
These are cool.
They are very cool.
You said the King of Spades?
The King of Spades.
That is the Ruin card.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the worst thing that could have happened to Liz.
It's money, isn't it?
All forms of wealth that you carry or own other
Yeah.
than magic items are lost to you.
Whoa.
Portable property vanishes. Business, buildings, and land you own are lost in a way that alters reality the least. Any documentation that proves you own something is lost.
Yes, that would have been awful. So bad. Might
At least you didn't die.
as well with that.
Technically, Lim didn't die. We're going to save you.
And we have a map this time.
That's right.
A really good map.
Tyler's going to have a really hard time balancing this now.
What?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be funny if we go
What do you
back and
mean?
everything's still unlocked. And
Everything's still going to be like set for level 4, and I'm just going to.